Topping today's news, another traffic fatality here in the capital. Yet another juvenile drowns while on summer break, this time on Abaco. Prime Minister Davis expresses security concerns regarding irregular migration. At least 2 major hotels set to reopen, and the Prime Minister pushing back against criticism from former Prime Minister Ingram. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Jareno Saunders. This is your JCN Evening News. Thanks for joining us. Police here in the capital investigating the circumstances surrounding a traffic accident which claimed the life of a 52-year-old male of Yellow Elder Gardens. The incident occurring shortly after 8 p.m. on Tuesday on the Independence Highway in the area of the New Bethlehem Baptist Church, involving a white SUV colliding with a pedestrian who was crossing the highway. According to Chief Superintendent of Police Chrislyn Skippings, emergency medical services was called to the scene, where they examined the body of the victim and pronounced him dead on the scene. As for the female driver of the white SUV, she remained on scene and is currently assisting police with their investigations. With information regarding this latest traffic fatality still pending, Chief Superintendent Skippings could not confirm whether speed was a factor. However, she admonishes motorists to adhere to the traffic laws.
We do have an influx of vehicles on our streets, and I would just ask the motoring public to slow down, to adhere to the rules and regulations of the traffic aspects of the law, because if you fail to do so, as law enforcement officers, we're called to enforce the law. And when I said that, I'm speaking very broadly as to all traffic matters, because we have matters where we still see persons driving without seatbelts that we're ticketing them for or citing them for. We still see persons who are driving their vehicles while not having their driver's license and their insurances on hand. And so all of those aspects, I want to encourage members of the public to adhere to. We are going to tackle all of the minor crimes. And when we tackle all of the minor crimes, it makes it more difficult, or it makes it easier, I should say, not difficult, rather easier to deal with the serious crimes that we see happening.
While police did not reveal the identity of the man, family members on the scene identify him as Doyle Ferguson. Police providing an update into the two-car collision on Monday on Exuma involving a white SD Wrangler Jeep occupied by 5 American tourists and a white flatbed truck with 2 Bahamian occupants in it. Police say 4 of the 7 people involved have been treated and discharged from the hospital. 3 people, including an American male, the driver of the flatbed truck, and his female passenger, remain in hospital in critical condition. On Tuesday, Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament for the Exumas, Chester Cooper, told reporters that all 7 victims were transported via air ambulance to the capital around 10:30 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. on Monday evening. Investigations continue into this matter as well. Meantime, police on Abaco investigating an alleged drowning incident after officers at the Treasure Key police station received reports shortly before 12 noon on Tuesday of a drowning at Treasure Key Beach. Initial investigations revealed a juvenile male was attending a beach picnic along with several friends, and while in the water, he was discovered foaming from the mouth. He was assisted to the shore and CPR was performed. EMS personnel also attended the scene and transported the victim to the Marsh Harbor Clinic, where he was seen and examined by a doctor and pronounced dead. The latest incident here follows at least 4 other drownings in the country this summer. Police investigations on Abaco are being continued. Following the apprehension of 111 Haitian nationals on Monday in the area of Guinchos Key, southwest of Andros, and the discovery of 26 Haitian migrants in 2 separate homes on Abaco on Sunday, Prime Minister Philip Davis says it is important that the Bahamas helps to find a solution to the issues in Haiti that influence continued exodus of its citizens out of that country. Just last month, the Prime Minister noted that he also, with the Prime Ministers of Jamaica and Barbados, were appointed to head a committee established by CARICOM to address the issues in Haiti. To that extent, Prime Minister Davis says he and other Caribbean leaders will travel to Haiti to assess the state of that country and to come up with possible solutions to address the illegal migration issues.
Yes, there was a meeting held. I'm one of the lead heads of the Caribbean CARICOM committee, and as such, we've been tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that we find some solution to the issues that's impacting Haiti. For the Bahamas in particular, it is very important for us to find a solution, but the solution has to be a Haitian solution. There was a meeting held on Saturday past in Trinidad. I was unable to attend because of the other pressing matters we're dealing with here, and the deputy has attended in my stead and been briefed, and the next step is for me to determine when I will host my leaders, my fellow leaders here in the Bahamas, along with the Haitian Prime Minister, to find the pathway to peace.
In the past, Haiti has been plagued with numerous issues, inclusive of natural disasters, the recent assassination of its president, Jovenel Moïse, and in more recent times, gang violence, pushing the country into a deeper state of chaos. Prime Minister Davis says it is a concern for the Bahamas as it is a matter of security.
You've seen the desperation of the Haitian people in an attempt to escape the challenges that they're experiencing in Haiti. And we have to be concerned. That's just for humanity. If from a humanitarian point of view, we have to be concerned of the plight of our fellow human beings in Haiti. And for the Bahamas, it's a security issue as well because of them. When they are coming to the Bahamas, we have to look after them. We don't know all of the issues that surround those persons who come, and it is concerning.
While many Haitian migrants have perished at sea in an attempt to escape economic hardships in Haiti, officials expect more migrants to take the dangerous voyage to other countries and for migrant arrivals to increase. The amount of migrants seeking to find asylum in the Bahamas, by all indicators, is expected to increase as the year goes on, according to Minister of Immigration and Labor Keith Bell. Speaking with reporters on Tuesday, Minister Bell revealed that 15 of the Haitian nationals who survived the failed human smuggling attempt in July were part of the recent repatriation exercise, where a total of 130 migrants were sent back to the countries of their origin. However, Minister Bell explained that not all of the migrants who survived the boating tragedy were repatriated at this time, considering some of them may be needed to testify in court.
They were repatriated along with a total of 130 irregular migrants from Haiti were repatriated in one shot. There were several of them who we would need as witnesses. Those persons were kept. They remain in detention. The others were repatriated.
As for the number of migrant apprehensions this year, amounting to just about more than the number of migrant apprehensions in the past 3 years combined, Minister Bell says numbers tend to fluctuate in waves, increasing every 4 to 5 years.
And as you all would appreciate what's going on in several of the countries in the Caribbean, particularly in Haiti, where there is political unrest and economic instability. Certainly, Cuba is being impacted by the Ukrainian war. In terms of goods being able to access goods, and so therefore we've seen a significant increase in irregular migrants from Cuba and from Haiti. But the good thing is our law enforcement agencies along with our U.S. Coast Guard, they're doing a marvelous job in terms of intercepting them and ensuring that we detain them and of course then we repatriate as quickly as we can.
When asked if the situation in countries where most migrants are coming from, such as Cuba and Haiti, would give the government more impetus to move forward with the asylum bill, Minister Bell says there are many issues faced by a number of Caribbean nations, and the Bahamas has to protect the interest of its people and the future generations.
So whatever we need to do as a government in terms of legislative reform, legislative amendment, and the enactment of new pieces of legislation, you will see that. At this stage, again, the asylum, the immigration bill, all of those things, there are drafts. And I'm not able to say too much at this stage because they have not gone before the cabinet as yet for a decision and determination of cabinet in terms of where we will move forward. Once that is done, I'd be happy to come back and share it with you.
Speaking on the most recent apprehension of 111 migrants by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Minister Bell says once they have arrived to the capital, basic protocols and due process will be followed before being repatriated as soon as possible. And finally, in this segment, the owners of the British Colonial Hilton are committed to reopening. The Tourism, Investment and Aviation Minister, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, telling reporters as much just before the weekly cabinet meeting on Tuesday. The historic hotel announced that it intends to close its doors indefinitely on February 15th this year due to the fact that the agreement to carry the Hilton brand at the property had come to an end. This move affected 120 employees. But on Tuesday, Deputy Prime Minister Cooper told reporters that China Construction America, CCA, the owners of the hotel, were committed to reopening, having secured another major international brand.
At the moment, the owners of the British Colonial Hilton are committed to reopening. They are in the process of receiving certain approvals, and we expect that they will receive those approvals in short order. Government is committed to the reopening of the Hilton Hotel, and we expect that this will cause us to have more communication with the public in due course.
Meanwhile, Club Med Resort on San Salvador is set to open its doors in October with a working group along with the developers ensuring that this target is met. The Deputy Prime Minister adds that infrastructural adjustments are being made, including ensuring significant airlift is made available.
They are going to have significant airlift, including Bahamas Air, American Airlines, Air Canada, and an airline direct from Paris to San Salvador. So these are exciting times for San Salvador. They've already started to recruit employees, and we expect the economic benefit to be significant. The Member of Parliament for this area is quite excited about this possibility of creating employment for his people, and we're standing behind him in terms of facilitating the project to smooth reopening.
When asked about the town hotel being up for sale, Deputy Prime Minister Cooper says that matter has not come before the government as yet, and that once they have more details, they will share the information. However, Mr. Cooper reminded that the town hotel is privately owned and development in that area will be positive for downtown Nassau. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back after these commercials.